Hey guys, a recap of today's lecture for those of you who weren't there. First off, start reading Kafka on the Shore. We read the first 3 pages today together. We're going to be at page 70 by Tuesday. We went over that there's going to be 2 narratives. So the first part of the story is going to be told by Kafka, a 15-year-old boy who runs away and lives in a corner of a library. He's going to start the book by talking to a boy named Crow, which is kind of an alter ego or an imaginary friend. The second narrative is going to be told by an old man named Nakata. And he was in a really weird field trip accident as a kid and became very simple. And now he helps people find missing cats. So it's really important to know that the book is told in 2 narratives. Another story that really influences Kafka on the Shore is the story of Oedipus. I know we've talked about Freud and the Oedipal complex, but to refresh your memory, I'm going to tell you the story of Oedipus because we've talked about it from the Freudian point of view, but I don't think you know the whole story of Oedipus, and we don't have time to read the whole play by Sophocles, so I'm going to kind of recap it in my own way, full of mispronunciations and modern adaptation. Okay, so Oedipus. So when Oedipus was a baby, or before he was born, his dad, King Laius, went to the oracle and said, "Will we ever have a baby?" And the oracle said, "Yeah, but that baby is going to straight up kill you." And so when Oedipus was born, his dad bound his feet and left him in the mountains. I have absolutely no idea why he bound Oedipus's feet, because if you've ever been around infants, they can't exactly get up and walk away. So I'm left to think that King Laius really just didn't know much about child development. But anyway, Oedipus left in the mountains, his feet are bound. Oedipus, the name, actually means swollen feet. So thanks, Dad, for naming me after my stinky, swollen feet. Okay, as Oedipus, the baby, would say. Those were his first words. Okay, so Oedipus is left in the mountains. Luckily, a shepherd finds him and hopefully unbinds his feet. And a really nice lady and a really nice man who happened to be the queen and king called Merope and Polybus adopt him and raise him as their child. And he has a pretty good life. However, Oedipus then sees the oracle, and it sounds like this oracle is tons of trouble. Like, never go see the oracle, guys. It does not lead anywhere good. So he goes to see the oracle, and the oracle says, "You will kill your father and marry your mother." And Oedipus says, "No, I don't want to do that. Yuck." As all of you say anytime I say the words Oedipus. So he runs away because he doesn't want to marry Merope, but most of all, he doesn't want to kill his dad, Polybus. So he runs away from home. And when he's on the road, there's a little bit of a moment of road rage. So he's wandering or whatnot, and somehow he comes to a busy intersection. And there's a charioteer, and there's this man, and they both want to go. And I don't know, I guess the road was not wide enough. And Oedipus kills the man and the charioteer. But then he forgets about it because maybe he kills a lot of people. I don't know. I would remember. But regardless, he moves on. He forgets about it. And then he actually runs into the Sphinx, who's torturing the city of Thebes. And he kind of outwits the Sphinx, and she like jumps off a burning building and kills herself or something. And then the city is so relieved. They say, "Please come be our king and marry our queen." And he says, "Oh, what fortune I have. Yes, I will marry this beautiful queen and be your king." Cool. Living a good life. Yay, Oedipus. Okay, but then there's a plague. Sound familiar, guys? There's a plague, and it is straight up killing the animals and the crops and the people, and the plague is plaguing the city of Thebes. And so he goes again, I believe, to the oracle. And the oracle says, to save the city from the plague, you have got to bring King Laius to justice. This was his wife's first husband who'd been murdered, and no one knew who murdered him. So the oracle says, you have to bring King Laius to justice to end the plague. And Oedipus says, yes, I will find the murderer and I will punish him. And all the people say, yes, please save us from the plague. He's like, yes, I will do this. And so he looks for not another oracle, but a seer. There's lots of people that just know lots of things in this city. So anyway, there's oracles, there's seers, there's wise people out the wazoo. So Tiresias, who's a seer, comes and visits Oedipus, and he says, the murderer you seek is yourself. Wow. Oedipus says he's lying, calls him a liar, thinks that he's corrupt, trying to take his seat, totally throws him out. Doesn't believe him. So then Oedipus calls another guy, a messenger. And the story's a little weird here because maybe the messenger is also the shepherd that found him as a baby. And now maybe he's like stopped his sheep herding life and become a messenger. Not entirely sure on this one. But anyway, the messenger / sheep herder says, no, you were adopted and I rescued you, and Merope is not really your mom and Polybus is not your dad. So by running away from your fate, all you did was run straight into your fate. Whoops. And yeah, you murdered your dad. And haven't you ever thought about the fact that your name means swollen feet? And so this is terrible news. Oedipus feels like just so terrible that he killed his father and he married his mother, and he's just overcome with pain and misery. And he is told that Jocasta has found that Jocasta, his beautiful wife, his beautiful mother, has killed herself because she is so ashamed and in sorrow. And so Oedipus tears out his eyes and releases his pain, and in this moment of catharsis and tragedy, and he wanders away. And that's how the play ends. And that is the story of Oedipus. So, as you read Kafka on the Shore, I want you to be thinking a lot about fate. I want you to be thinking of this curse, of the idea that you might kill your father and marry your mother. And I think it's a good lesson that if your city is in a plague, don't go talk to the oracle. They might send us to weird places. You can't escape your fate. Don't try to run from it. You'll just run headfirst into it. Okay, so I will see you next week, and you should be to page 70 in Kafka on the Shore.